planet of Naboo, the Trade Federation Blockade received visitors from the 2 Jedi sent by Chancellor Valorum, the Republic. Upon arrival, the Jedi are placed inside of a conference room to begin negotiations with the Federation leader, Nute Gunray. Unsure of how to approach the new arrivals, he convenes with the orchestrator of these plans, the Sith Lord, Darth Sidious. The evil Sith Lord tells him to dispose of the Jedi. The arrival ship is destroyed, and toxic gas is poured into the room. Escaping out the room, Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi are attacked by battle droids whilst infiltrating the command center of the blockade. Using his lightsaber to cut through the blast doors, Gunray dispatches Troidicus to kill the Jedi. In a quick burst of power, the Jedi escape deep into the station. Evading the Trade Federation, Gunray informs Sidious that the Jedi are dead. Sidious gives them the go-ahead to invade Naboo. Escaping the blockade aboard one of the droid transports, running through the forest of Naboo, Qui-Gon bumps into an unusual friend, Jar Jar Binks. Needing to get to Theed, the 2 Jedi ask if Binks can aid them in this mission. He takes them to the underwater city of his people, the Gungans. Brought before the ruler of the city, they request aid in passing through the planet's core and into Theed to aid the Queen from the oncoming danger for the whole planet. The 2 Jedi and Binks take a perilous journey through the core world, but eventually reach the city. Rescuing the Queen from a group of battle droids, she leads them to her personal ship, attempting to rush the blockade. Suffering damage to their shields, a familiar blue astromech saves the ship as they attempt to reach the core world of Coruscant. Discovering that the hyperdrive has been damaged, they decide to travel to Tatooine, a planet away from the Trade Federation and ruled by the Hutts. Reporting back to Sidious, Gunray reveals that the Queen has escaped through the aid of the supposedly dead Jedi. Declaring that he has failed, Sidious dispatches someone more powerful to deal with the likes of the Jedi, his Sith apprentice, Darth Maul. Searching through Tatooine, Qui-Gon, accompanied by Binks, R2-D2 and Padme, one of the Queen's handmaids, come across a scrapyard owned by Watto. The group is also introduced to the young Anakin Skywalker. Watto has the correct hyperdrive components to fix their ship, but in the Outer Rim, Republic credits don't go far out there. Refusing service, the group leave with Skywalker, who invites them home from an oncoming sandstorm. Meanwhile, Darth Maul arrives on the desert planet, dispatching probe droids to hunt down the Queen. The group are introduced to Shmi Skywalker, Anakin's mother, who recognizes Qui-Gon as Jedi. Qui-Gon recognizes that Anakin has an unusually strong connection to the Force. Asking Shmi who the father was, she reveals he has no father. The pregnancy came as a surprise to her. Anakin introduces the others to the droid he is constructing, C-3PO. In the pod racer, he wants to enter into the Boot to Eva race. Agreeing to sponsor the child, Anakin is entered into the race. Before sleeping, Qui-Gon takes a sample of his blood for his Padawan to analyze. Every living being has a connection with the Force, but some have a stronger connection than others. Anakin's count was above even the most powerful of Jedi Masters in the High Council. The next day, Anakin enters the race, while Qui-Gon makes a gamble with Watto that if the Skywalkers win, he wants to free both of them, take with him back to the Jedi. Confusing both and settling on Skywalker, the race begins. In a close call between races, Anakin uses his abilities to finish the race in first place, winning enough credits to pay for the hyperdrive and set Anakin free to be brought before Jedi. Said to be leaving his mother, Anakin returns with Qui-Gon to the ship, only to be pursued by his Sith apprentice. In a brief skirmish between the Jedi and Sith, the group reunite and begin their journey to Coruscant. On Coruscant, Queen Amidala of Naboo stands before the Senate to accuse the Trade Federation of their illegal actions, but with no proof, the Senate can't take action against the issue. Accompanied by Senator Palpatine of Naboo, he pushes the Queen to initiate a vote of no confidence towards the Chancellor. Palpatine informs the Queen that he will be one of the members running for Chancellor. The Queen also reveals plans to return to Naboo and defeat the Trade Federation herself. Meanwhile, Qui-Gon brings Anakin to the High Council, taking a test before many large Jedi icons. Yoda and Mace Windu declare that Anakin cannot be trained by Qui-Gon because he already has a Padawan, and that the boy is too old to be trained. Qui-Gon pushes his belief that Skywalker is the Chosen One from an old Jedi legend, but the Council dismissed the claim. Qui-Gon also brings up his skirmish with the Zabrak on Tatooine, believing the unusual warrior to be a Sith Lord. Once more, the Council disagrees with Qui-Gon, stating that the Sith were destroyed a millennia ago. Unhappy with the Council, the group returned to the Queen and joined her on her conquest to reclaim Naboo. Discovering the Gungans, they enlist their help in the reclamation while a large group infiltrate where the Gunray is holding himself. Binks joins his fellow species on the battlefront while the Queen, Padme Amidala, leads the Jedi and Anakin through the palace. Anakin hides inside an M1 starfighter, while Amidala begins her journey to defeat Gunray. The Jedi are intercepted by Maul, beginning a duel that might shape the fate of the galaxy. Throughout the duel, the Jedi and Sith end up in the bowels of Naboo's power system. Obi-Wan is confined away from his master, watching the two fight. To his surprise, the Sith impales his master in the chest, mortally wounding Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan continues the duel, eventually slicing the Sith Lord in half. Holding his dying master in his hands, he bestows Obi-Wan with the honor of training Skywalker in the ways of the Force. Anakin accidentally launches his fighter and joins the battle to destroy the leading command station of the blockade. Using his Force abilities, he manages to survive the fight for the most part before crashing inside of the station. Using his ion cannons, he fires into the main reactor, blowing it up from the inside. Escaping the destruction, the people of Naboo return home as the droid army of the Trade Federation is shut down. Meanwhile, Amidala and her followers arrest Gunray for his crimes. Later that evening, the Jedi Council and many others from Naboo join together for the funeral pyre of Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan informs Anakin that against the Council's thoughts, he has been given the permission to train him as a Jedi. Meanwhile, Yoda and Windu accept that the Sith did survive and have finally revealed themselves after 1,000 years. They recall that the Sith follow a rule that suggests that only two Sith can live at once, a master and an apprentice. Unsure of which was destroyed, they are wary of what the future will hold for them.